How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. Yeah, everything's fine.
Good.
I had cancer 3 years ago.
How was that?
Yeah, not great, but not terrible either. And I'm all clear for the moment.
Good.
So yeah, it's which is what my stand-up show is going to be about. So as a comedian, something bad happens and you go, oh, that's all right. I can do a show
Got a
about
solid
that.
10 out of that.
So quite a lot of comedians going, you lucky.
It's all content, isn't it?
Did you get that?
You heard about Erin, yeah? Got the old cancer, didn't he? Oh, the jam. He'll get a tour out of that.
He'll do really well with that.
But you do, and you have, and it is. And it's called Can I Have My Ball Back?
Yes.
By Richard Herring.
Perfect
Great
title.
yeah.
Was it tricky to write?
No, actually, no. I wrote a book first. So about, sort of 7 or 8 months after I started writing the book. And so that was quite good because I sort of had the operation, I had a bit of chemotherapy, which was just sort of precautionary. And then sort of decided to try and get fit and so I ran a half marathon sort of 7 or 8 months after the operation.
Wow.
Under 2 hours, it wasn't too bad.
Well done. That's great.
And so, I left it a little while and then wrote the book pretty quickly. It kind of, obviously you're writing about something that's happened to you, but I think it was interesting to do it as well because I sort of joked my way through the first 7 or 8 months, and the book and the show are funny, but I think also being forced to confront it was psychologically made it a little. I think the year after I'd had the cancer was actually harder than the year I had the cancer.
Right.
You sort of psychologically you sort of worry, obviously, that it makes you consider your mortality and you worry about it coming back.
Yeah.
And so even when you're clear, there's always this little voice at the back of your mind. But I think actually also having to confront that was really helpful and positive. It was a very positive experience, and that show's very positive. The show's very funny because. And the book's very funny because lots of funny things happened. Just things went wrong. They measured me wrong when I went in for chemotherapy. They got my height wrong, and I kind of thought they must know what they're doing. They're just measuring me off a stick, they might, and that. But I was like 9 centimeters taller than I thought I was, and I thought I don't think my ball had been dragging me down that much. But I was worried. I didn't want to complain, but then I thought, what if they decide how many drugs you get based on some kind of sum?
It's worth saying, isn't it?
And this woman was saying it's probably your shoes. And I was wearing trainers. Going, no, I've got 3-inch. But it gave me, 5 minutes of finding out what it would be like to be not rejected by 90% of women on a dating app. So, my BMI was fantastic for those 5 minutes.
I feel bad. Sorry, you think you've been rejected on the dating apps because of your height? Okay, all right.
I'm married as well. I'm not on any dating
No.
apps.
Yeah, it's worth saying.
Is there a chance I might cry in your new show?
There are a couple of moments, I think. Yeah.
Right.
So it's mainly finding the funny in it. But there is the moment I got the phone call from the doctor. He'd been very jovial when I'd been in and said, this isn't cancer, don't worry, it's fine. I'm going to send you in anyway just in case. And then he called up and was a bit like, it might,
God.
we don't know what it is, but it might be. But he was like, his voice was shaking. My son was 2 at the time. My daughter was 5. I'd just been playing with the family, and my son was just laughing in the next room. And so it was this real moment of, oh my God, my kids aren't going to know who I was. So that bit's quite emotional. But it was also, again, it was one of those, I think it was about 90 seconds. I really cried thinking about my kids and myself and not being here anymore. But it was so much kind of clarity within that 90 minutes. I do a bit about it, and I realised how many different things went through my head. Like, in a comedy film when they have the 5 stages of grief and they go through them, and then they just the other person goes, gets angry, then happy, and then accepted. But it was really like that. I kind of was sort of bargaining, thinking, maybe it's best if I die straight away so that they don't know who I am. And then I was thinking, no, I've got to work out how I can earn enough money to keep everyone
the family,
going.
yeah.
What passwords I have to pass on to my wife and which ones she must never find out about. and you're thinking about who she, thinking how she's going to bring up 2 kids on her own to begin with. Because she's very attractive, she'll find someone. So I was thinking about the guy her ex-husband drinking all my whiskey that I've been saving.
Oh, no.
Drink that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I stopped drinking. No, so I still worried about it. I just stopped drinking when I found out I'd got cancer. So never stop drinking is my advice.
That's it.
That's what I can only.
And you've stayed off it?
I haven't had a drink since for 3 years.
Well, shame on you.
Yeah.
You should really make more of an effort. You'll be fine.
Radio X.